Welcome to the Cover Your Assets podcast, a show for the physician who understands the importance of protecting everything you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to find the peace of mind that only financial security can bring, let's get started. Here's your host, Billy Gwaltney.
Welcome to this episode of the Cover Your Assets podcast. I'm your host, Billy Gwaltney. It's good to be with you today. The topic of today's episode is the Ameritas Guaranteed Standard Issue policy details for trainees, residents, and fellows at OhioHealth. Occasionally, one of the top true specialty on-occupation disability carriers, which Ameritas is one of those, will offer their best coverage with no medical screening. And that's what we're talking about here today. First, I want to start with a quick overview of what the best coverage is, okay? A true specialty on-occupation disability policy that is properly designed will have three non-negotiables to it, okay? The first is the true specialty on-occupation definition of disability. And that means two things. One, it means that if an illness or injury prevents you from performing the material duties of your specialty or subspecialty, then you're totally disabled for policy benefit purposes. The second thing it means is that there's then no penalty for income you later earn doing something different. Both of those elements need to be there. So if you can't practice your specialty, you can then consult, write a book, do virtual medicine, telemedicine, whatever you want to do, make an unlimited income doing that, and there's no penalty to your benefit. It's the best definition you can get. And this guaranteed standard issue, no medical screening policy that we're talking about today includes that definition. The second key element is what's called an enhanced residual benefit. And that is partial disability. That pays if you can do your specialty part-time, but not full-time. And whatever the percentage loss of pay you experience, the Ameritas will pay you that percentage of your policy benefit. Again, that is true or present in this policy we're talking about today. The third key element is what's called the long-term recovery benefit, and that's included in the same section of the contract as the enhanced residual benefit. The recovery benefit is vital. It pays if you medically recover from a disability, go back to work, but when you go back to work, your income does not recover to what it used to be, and that happens a lot. We've got clients that have collected for over a decade from that benefit. It's very possible for someone to be out for a few years, be medically cleared to go back. And when they go back, they just never produce at the same level. They're starting over. They never really catch up from a production standpoint. And so that's a vital feature to have. And that's included in this policy. So it's like a three-legged stool. If you take one of the legs away, the stool becomes unstable really quick. Corny analogy, but it fits here. All of these are included in this coverage. And typically this top tier coverage requires streamlined medical screening up front, where you answer 25 to 30 medical questions about past surgeries and conditions and diagnosis and prescription medications and so forth. And so that could result in exclusions of pre-existing conditions, or a policy that has a rating to it where the premium is higher, or maybe a decline completely. In this particular case, Ameritas is offering residents and fellows at OhioHealth their best coverage that normally requires medical screening without any medical screening. It's called Guaranteed Standard Issue, or GSI for short. Okay. This is unique. It's not a frequent occurrence. It's probably not going to be here forever. And so it's advisable to strongly consider it. Now, why GSI? The first reason that this is important is that, again, that there's no medical underwriting. This means no medical questions and no exclusions, even if you have a history of diabetes, anxiety, depression, even cancer. Okay. Not only will they not modify or rate the policy, you're going to get their best definitions at the discounted rate. They also will not exclude those pre-existing conditions. If you have risky hobbies, scuba diving and so forth, they will cover those. They won't exclude those either. It's a big deal to be able to get it without any medical questions. The second key thing to the guaranteed issue is that you're getting their trainee discount of 20%. And that's applicable for all amounts of the policy for the life of the policy. They allow residents and fellows to purchase $5,000 a month of this coverage. It would include what's called the benefit increase rider that allows you to expand the coverage once you become an attending without any additional medical screening and with the 20% trainee discount included. Okay. And so over the course of your career, once you become an attending, there's a formula that the companies use to calculate how much insurance you can buy. And you can buy up to $15,000 a month without any additional medical screening. And with the trainee discount and with the same definitions included. Okay. This will save you a lot of money over the course of your career, this 20% discount. The best definitions are included, as I mentioned, the true specialty on occupation definition, the enhanced residual benefit that includes the long-term recovery benefit. This coverage is private and portable, which means you call the shots. You keep it for as long as you want to keep it. You take it with you wherever you go. It's non-cancelable and guaranteed renewable. That means the insurance company cannot cancel the policy. Again, you can, but they cannot. They cannot change the definitions and they cannot increase the rate. Okay. And as I said, it includes the benefit increase rider that lets you increase coverage in the future as your income goes up. If you're listening to this podcast or watching it, then you've probably gotten some information from me that may include quotes. I send quotes for $5,000 a month of coverage. I also include $2,500. There's no law that says you have to start at $5,000. Most clients do, but you could start lower if you wanted to and still be able to expand the coverage up to $15,000 a month. All of these rates are based on the 90-day elimination period, which is how long you wait or how long you self-insure from the date of a disability until the first check arrives. If you're disabled January 1st, you get a check in April. So 90 days later. This would also include the benefit period to age 65. And then it also includes the COLA rider or cost of living adjustment rider that is an inflation factor that increases the benefit once a claim is filed. So if you're disabled over the course of the life of the claim, the benefit would increase by up to 3% per year, and that's compounded. Okay. A lot of times I include rates with the other top companies just so you can see how competitive the Ameritus rate is. Again, the guaranteed standard issue means that this is available to you, the best coverage on the planet, the best definitions, the strongest terms that can never be taken from you or changed is offered to you without any medical questions, no exclusions for pre-existing conditions, no exclusions for risky hobbies. Okay. If you want to take advantage of this and are ready to proceed, there's a link in the email I sent you that in the next steps tab called the Ameritas GSI disability intake form. It's just some personal questions that are required for the application. You fill that out. It takes 7 or 8 minutes electronically. Then you would e-sign the application electronically, and that's it. Everything's delivered and communicated electronically. It takes 2 to 4 weeks. We're in touch with you throughout. Okay. 3 last points in summarizing this as we wrap up. First one is there's no guarantee that this will be available forever. Get it while you can. Insurance companies come and go with these offers. Once they have enough, they're going to cut off the spigot and they'll remove it. Okay. It's likely not forever. They evaluate these regularly and they could technically close it. They could shut it down today if they wanted to. There's no indication that they're going to do that. They've not communicated that to me. I'm one of the exclusive brokers for this at OhioHealth. And so it looks like it's here at least for now, but that could change. Technically, you're eligible for this for as long as you're in training at OhioHealth. Okay. But that doesn't mean that if you wait a few years and try to get it on your way out the door, that it's going to be here. Okay. Don't be naive. They can take it at any time. Okay. Just food for thought. Okay. The second key element is that you have to apply for this GSI offer before you apply elsewhere. If you apply somewhere else and get an exclusion, a rating, a decline, or if you postpone an application even and don't even go through with it, they will exclude this GSI offer from you. You won't be able to get it. Okay. It's vital that you do this first. And then the last thing is that your broker really matters. As I said, I'm one of the exclusive brokers for this. I work with about 3,000 physicians across the country. I broker all the top carriers, not just Ameritas, but anytime a company like Ameritas invites me to be a part of what they're doing on a guaranteed issue basis, I take advantage of it because it's the best coverage on the planet. We have clients on claim. They all get paid. And anytime you can get it without any medical screening, it is a message worth carrying to people. You need to take advantage of this. And the broker really is important, not only in bringing opportunities like this, helping you make sure that you have the definitions correct, helping you increase coverage throughout your career, but also advocating for you at the time of claim. We do have clients on claim. They all get paid. The broker can be as involved as you want him or her to be. We have had some people go down that road by themselves, just kind of not thinking clearly. Things didn't go as they expected because claims can be, it can be a little muddy sometimes. And I had two people where they were declined, and then they got me involved and we got them approved. And it doesn't mean it's going to happen every time, but it does mean that if these contracts are really strong, if you're legitimately disabled, then you need to get paid. And my job is to help make sure that you get advocated for, and that anything that's muddy gets cleared up if it needs to be cleared up. And so make sure you work with a specialist, an expert. If your broker's not around anymore, or you bought it off of a website and you're dealing with an 800 number, good luck with that. So the details really matter. The broker really matters, and the compensations for the broker is already built into the rate that you're paying. You don't pay me anything extra. You don't pay a broker an extra fee. If you listen to this and stopped listening and called Ameritas directly, they're going to send you to me. Okay. Or someone like me. There has to be a broker. Okay. And so it's already built in, and the broker gets a small percentage of the premium you pay for the life of the policy. And it's up to you to make sure they earn that. The incentive behind that is to cause me to want to try to keep you happy. Right. And so it's up to you to make sure that happens. Food for thought. Hope you find this helpful. Would be happy to discuss your situation more specifically in more detail. You can text me at 704-270-2376. Again, 704-270-2376. Let me check 704-270-2376. And we will get you scheduled for a call. Happy to help you any way I can and answer questions. Thank you for your time as always. I look forward to hopefully connecting with you on a future episode or individually.
Thanks for listening to the Cover Your Assets podcast, a Work P2P production. New episodes drop every 2 weeks. If you've enjoyed the conversation, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. For more tips and advice, visit the website and YouTube channel. Check the show notes for links. Join us next time for another episode dedicated to helping physicians like you get your disability insurance right and protect your way of life.